Alright guys, so it's going to be a little project video here. What I got going on is I finally got my last slim lighter I was trying to get. I had two of them up here, and I was trying to buy a third one, but I did not want to spend $300 on the thing. So I looked at, I found this one on eBay for $60. It's the old style with the, what is it, the 5mm lights. The new style is a tier 6 version, but I didn't really care as long as I got the third one I was trying to get to put in the truck. So that's exactly what I got here. Actually, I'm going to put this one in the middle. Yeah, because I can't put it even. I'm trying to see if I can raise these up. The other ones are a little, I think they're a little taller. So anyway, what I gotta do here is I'm gonna synchronize these, but in order to do that, I gotta hook them all up to this little flasher here. Yeah, this thing's got some dust and crap. Phone's going off. What the hell? I think it's a tier 3 6-head traffic director. Sorry, somebody, one of the channels I watched sent me a message here. So anyway, we're going to be hooking this thing up. There's 6 light heads, there's 4 channels. So 2 of the light heads are going to be hooked up to 1 channel. But in order to do this, I actually have to take these things apart and disconnect the control boards that run them and separate the light heads. Like you can see here, this one's been separated. There was a control board here. I pulled it out, cut the 2 wires off it. And these will solid light with just power to these, but without the control board, you do have to have a flasher. But this is pretty much the only way I can make these things synchronize together. So that's what we're going to be doing here. I've got 2 of these apart. This is the other one. These are the tier 6s. And basically, they go like this. This little deflector goes over it, and then there's a regular clear lens that goes over the whole thing, and these go inside this one. So I'm going to show you how to take these things apart, as well as to do this wiring thing. I was going to say, I got a little screwdriver here. So in order to open these up, supposed to be able to kind of pop these to the side, but I found that those don't really move very easily. What you can do on these is, if you follow where the buttons are on the old ones, on the tier 6 I had to take the whole thing apart. So the buttons are on this side. This is where the flash board is. So on this end piece there's a little tab. You get a screwdriver in there and you just pop it up a little bit, enough so that you can slide this piece off. Okay, then what you do is you lift up here on the end and slide it out from the middle. See the middle there? That slides right out. I've already cut these off the board, these yellow and black wire here, and there's a yellow and black wire here. Those will go to that board. Now I'm not going to be using this board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew these 2. These just unscrew the little caps, and there's the 2 buttons. Pull those out, pull the board right out. On this board you had 2 wires that would actually come out going to a cigarette lighter plug or something like that. We're not going to use that board, so we're leaving it out. Alright, so what I got to do here is I got to hook up ground and power. So basically I've got to hook up 3 wires to each light. So in order to do that, I'm going to tap into my little magic kit of electrical. Lots of connectors. So my little magic kit of electrical here. I'm going to grab some of these crimpers. Crimp connectors, I like to call them. I'm going to do this on all the lights. So I've got 6 of these to do. I'll show you on the first one, and we'll probably just cut the video until I get done with the rest of them, so that way I can save some time here. So I'm gonna strip off about a 1/4 inch or so of insulation on each one of these lights. This one had 2 light heads, so let me grab this light head. We do the same thing here. Cut this piece off the end. And we'll do that. We'll strip off a little bit. So the black wire here is ground, and the yellow wire here is positive. I'm going to control these 2 lights separately, which means I need to hook up independent positive wires, but I don't have to separate the grounds. I can actually just hook those up together to 1 wire. It'll save me a little bit of time dealing with these things, because it's not really mandatory that I have 2 grounds hooked up, which is fine. These are like 18 gauge wires, I think, something like that. What do we got here? Oh, I don't need these. Jesus Lord. Did I grab the wrong ones? Yes, I did. I did not grab crimpers. I grabbed cutters. Great. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook these 2 up together like this. I'm going to hook up a nice little piece of 14 gauge black wire for the ground, and then I'll run some wires. So we'll come back when I got this all done. I got 1 light done. So basically it's going to look something like this. 2 grounds together to 1 wire, and then each light head's going to have a wire of its own. I'm using wire I had, so I've got a purple striped white wire and a yellow wire for my 2 positives to control each light, and then I've got a black wire for my ground. If you do wind up using 14 gauge, these are like 18 or 16 gauge wire. In my case, I'm using some 14. I had to notch out the hole a little bigger. So keep in mind that you may have to modify the light a little bit, because it's got to be able to clear the ends. So now all I got to do is put this light back in here. Now, I'm a stickler for making sure these are all the same, so I like to have the lenses and everything facing the same direction. And engineering, it doesn't matter on the lenses because they're printed on both sides. But the little dot right here and the patent number are right there, so let's put it this way. Yeah, there's an up and a down side to this. Alright, so I'm going to tuck these wires into here. I'm going to carefully slide this back into the center. I'm going to push this one down into here. Once you slide them in, they should go right down in. Now all I got to do is take my end bracket, got right here, and it needs to slide back in here. This is the careful part. This is why you had to notch that out, because I don't want the wires to get chafed by the metal. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ground on top, so if it does get chafed, at least it's just the ground. It puts it kind of close, that's why. We push this back into here, and there's a little tab. We need to push that guy back in. That's been opened at least once. We need to push that guy back into there so that it keeps that from popping out. And now we've got our 2 wires. And this light here is actually going to go right here, and these wires are going to feed inside to the module box, or the flasher. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to twist these together. I'm just going to twist them up, makes it a little easier to determine what light's what. There are faster ways to twist. I'm just going to use my hand. I've only got about 1.5 feet of wire. I didn't put that much wire because I'm not going far with it. Just going to go up there inside the little cubby behind the radio. So we'll get an idea of what I did with this one. They're all pretty much the same. Even the Tier 6 model, it's the same. It just has a different color hot wire, it's a red instead of a yellow in this case. And these are yellow because they're amber. I'm sure if these were red, they'd be a red wire, or blue, they'd be a blue wire, etc. So I'm gonna get the rest of them done, and then we'll come back at that point when I get them hooked up. All right, guys. So let me throw some light on here. You can see finally got everything mounted up. There's slim lighter number left, center, and the right one. Wires are all running up inside to my junction box of fun here. And there's my switch. Before this battery dies, I'm gonna turn them on here real quick. We killed the big light. Got it set to action flash, which means I kind of do this. Very bright though, but a little creative ingenuity and you'd be surprised what you can do with a slim lighter. That one there is just, the glass is dirty. I gotta clean the glass. I cleaned the windshield and the other two. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Actually, I think I just need to aim that one down a little more. But yeah, still not too bad. Right on. So that's kind of how we do it. I wanted them all to flash together, so I just cut the flash boards out of them and put them all on a separate flasher that's up in here. You can see this big old jumble of mess here. There's my flasher. And I've got everything hooked up right inside, so I'm going to tuck that far back in here. And then what I'll do is I'll put my radio back, and then that'll tidy up this little install. Let me take the Scanlock wire off here. So this is just a little quick tip on how to do things. If you want them all to work together, you just kind of have to get creative, I guess. And in this case, it was external flasher creativity. That's where we got to where we got to with this. So now I need to put this back in so that way I can use it. Well, I've been using it. It's just, that sucks when it's just hanging there. I'll have to figure out if I remember where the hell the screw goes on this. Oh yeah, it goes right here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere like that. Well, any which way, guys. I haven't already said it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.